if I could have your attention.
This is what we came for.
I thought you was gonna handle it. So handle your business.
Our country is under attack.
Are you in?
We are doing this.
We?
Culture yourself, trust me.
Get Showtime. Start your free trial today.
Staples Center behind me, a quiet Staples Center, but we get set for Showtime Championship Boxing coming up 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific time with Leo Santa Cruz, Abner Mata number 2. Also, Jermell Charlo goes head-to-head against Austin Trout. But today, it is the return of Tyson Fury, as Fury is back in the heavyweight division after nearly 1,000 days gone. And lo and behold, the Gypsy King is back, Chris.
Look, Tyson Fury being back is great for boxing. This is a guy who brings charisma, who comes to fight, and to top it all off, he's got a questionable chin. So you never know what you're going to get from a Tyson Fury fight. I'm fascinated to see what he has after nearly 3 years off.
Well, Tyson Fury is having a lot of fun as we go ahead and take a look at the graphic here as you go and see the tweet from Frank Warren as he's picking up his opponent, Sefer Seferi.
This is like straight out of Gulliver's Travels. I mean, you've got Tyson Fury, who's just under 300 pounds, and you've got Seferi, who's a former cruiserweight, jumping up for this type of fight. One thing about this Tyson Fury fight, we're only going to learn if Tyson doesn't have anything. This is not the opponent that is going to show us if Tyson Fury is all the way back. If he struggles, we're going to learn something. If he beats him quickly, we're just going to know he's ready for that next step.
No question about it, Chris. And also, don't forget tonight, Showtime Championship Boxing. If you don't have Showtime, go to getshowtime.com to start your free trial now. You will get tonight's championship doubleheader. But to start off things here on Showtime Boxing International, we have Terry Flanagan going head-to-head against Maurice Hooker. Both guys are undefeated. Flanagan from Manchester fighting in his hometown for the vacant title. Maurice Hooker, undefeated from Dallas, says, I'm coming over. I will get the victory and take home the title.
Yeah, two guys that are on the rise here. Terry Flanagan believes he's the favorite, and he should be considered. He's got the better resume up to this point. But don't discount Hooker. Hooker, a couple of fights ago, had a bad draw, a draw that he should have lost to Darlis Perez. That fight sort of set him back a little bit. But if he had won that fight convincingly, he'd be on the same level as Terry Flanagan. Now, it's going to be a tough fight for him. Terry Flanagan, great hand speed, good footwork. He's going to find some openings against some of those wide punches that Hooker throws. But this is a true kind of fight for a couple of 28-year-olds who can both take big jumps if they win.
Well, Terry Flanagan will be turning 29 in 2 days. Maurice Hooker, actually, we saw him on Showbox years ago, back in 2014, a draw with Abel Ramos, and there he was sort of an unknown quantity. Now we are going to find out, is he for real or is he a pretender?
I look, is he for real? Yeah, we're going to learn some stuff tonight, but we're also going to learn who could be the guy to make that jump into the 140-pound division. That division is desperate for a big name right now. Terrence Crawford had all 4 of the belts. He vacated them. He moved up to 147. The landscape is ripe for someone to emerge as the kingpin at 140 pounds. This fight could move that one of these two guys in that direction.
Well, and now let's go ahead and take a look at Terry Flanagan and Maurice Hooker. Richie Woodall has the call.
Next to him, and I tell you, he is at least 5'11". And look at that reach difference, 80 inches as against 71. Flanagan southpaw, but Hooker's had a lot of southpaw sparring and believes that he is perfectly prepared. He'll certainly be dangerous in those early stages.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 12 rounds, and it will be for the vacant WBO Super Lightweight Championship of the World. Brought to you by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry Promotions in association with Rock Nation Sports, along with their great sponsors, 32 Red and Foot Asylum. It is sanctioned by The British Boxing Board of Control, steward in charge is Charles Giles, along with the World Boxing Organization, President Francisco Valcarcel. Supervisor is John Handelar. Our 3 judges scoring on a 10-point must system will be Dion Duarte of South Africa, Phil Edwards of England, and Jerome Jacobko of the United States. When the bell rings, our referee in charge, third man in the ring, will be Terry O'Connor of England. Introducing to you first fighting tonight out of the red corner. He's wearing red with white and weighed in at 9 stone, 13 pounds. Coming to us from Dallas, Texas, USA. He brings an undefeated record consisting of 23 wins, 3 draws, with 16 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Maurice Mighty Mo Hooker. And his opponent across the ring fighting tonight out of the blue corner in this World Championship contest. He's wearing blue with silver and weighed in the same as his opponent, 9 stone, 13 pounds. Hailing from right here, Manchester, England. He is undefeated with 33 wins. 13 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former WBO lightweight champion of the world, Terry Turbo Flanagan.
Broadcast about you both in the jungle. You know what I expect. Shake hands and best of luck to both. Pleasure.
Maurice Hooker said, don't blink, it could be the first round. Terry Flanagan says he's just another American. Well, we will see. World title action. Terry Flanagan trying to become the 10th man from Britain to win titles at more than one weight.
Well, it helps that he's a southpaw, but getting past that long left jab is going to be the problem. If Hooker sits on that back foot with a massive advantage in reach, it's going to be hard for Flanagan to get close enough to land on the target. So, but what Flanagan does very well, John, is that in and out. You see already that in and out style with his feet. That's going to keep Hooker double guessing.
Flanagan might have the better boxing skills. Hooker might be the bigger puncher. Found it increasingly difficult to make the lightweight limit, Terry Flanagan. Quiet start, they're both having a little look. It's good from Flanagan.
Flanagan, you've got to keep that right foot on the outside, keep on the outside that left jab. That means when he throws that left hook, that left straight left to the body, he can come back with that right hook over the top of the left hand. Hooker's got a feint.
He's a bit awkward, Hooker, but my word, he can bang. And he talks very much as a man who has self-belief.
Well, Hooker's got to look to time the attacks of Flanagan so he can take a little lean back or a step back with that back right foot and then just fire back with the right hand. Catch Flanagan coming forward.
Hooker not able to find the target as yet with anything significant in the first 90 seconds. It's good again from Flanagan, stepping into range.
Short little right hand as well from Hooker.
Hooker's had quality sparring against the likes of Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and claims to have taken O'Hara Davis to a standstill in one little session in the Mayweather gym over in the United States. Just really having a look, aren't they? It's a quiet and cagey opening round.
Oh, good jab from Hooker, and again, no one wants to make a mistake. That's the important part, I think, at this early stages.
Flanagan just walked into that left-hand lead of Hooker there, and he tries to whip across the right hand, which just whistled through thin air.
What he can do, Flanagan, is slow the feet down. Got to have a constant fidgety movement, just so Hooker can establish that jab.
Hooker, I know people are always interested in what fighters' hobbies are outside the ring. He's got 8 kids. Keep him busy, won't it? He says he's not seen them since January. Looking forward to seeing them. Tight opening round. Huge crowd here at the Manchester Arena, barely a spare seat in the house. And this is world title action. Terry Flanagan against Maurice Hooker, and incredibly difficult to split them in that opening 3 minutes, Barry.
Yeah, I thought Flanagan had a slightly better start, and then I thought Hooker just found his range a little bit going to the end of the round. They're very cagey.
So you've sat on the fence?
Most definitely, John.
Good man. We go into the second round. Hooker's not really let the punches go yet. Tries to that right hand's the danger shots. Good work from Flanagan.
Got to come back with that right hook though, Flanagan, when he throws that straight left to the body.
Terry Flanagan said that it could be something similar to Eric Morales and Marco Antonio Barrera. I tell you, it's going to be going some of it's as good as that. That might be a wee bit fanciful, but you never know.
Oh, good shot there from Flanagan. Straight left on the centre of the guard of Hooker.
Flanagan keeps his shape so well. Good balance.
It's that in and out movement with the feet that's what frustrates and confuses the opponent, because they're not sure when he's going to attack.
There's the right hand of Hooker, and Flanagan felt the weight of that. Having to punch up unusually, Terry Flanagan. So often he's the bigger man in there. Not tonight.
Good right hand from Hooker again.
It's a fast, slashing, whipping right hand when he lets it go. Nothing on that jab, but it's an irritant to Flanagan, keeping him out of range.
Well, what it does, it lines him up for that right hand.
Yeah, rangefinder. See, all the time it's cocked. He's waiting to uncork that big danger right hand, Hooker. Forget odds of 6-1 against Maurice Hooker. Dino Duver and Vince Parra, his trainer. Dino Duver, his promoter, they both said, yeah, we'll have a bit of that. So I think they've loaded on.
Left hand to the body from Flanagan, but a right hand over the top as well from Hooker. Again, another close, cagey round, isn't it?
Flanagan very reticent in committing himself. He'll have worked out a strategy with Steve Maylett and Bobby Rimmer, very experienced men. That's a lovely straight left hand from Flanagan. But only a single shot.
But when he attacks, you've got to make sure he keeps that foot on the outside, that lead foot on the outside, so he's always moving to his right, making Hooker have to turn before he punches.
He walks onto that right hand. Might be the last thing he does. Another tight round. Here's Vince Parra with Maurice Hooker, and it's a little bit of a phony war so far, but was Hooker just doing enough there?
Yeah, and even though the best shot of the best punch of the round certainly came from Flanagan, that left hand there. But I think for me, the few right hands that Hooker landed with was enough for me to give him the round. A tight one again, John, but I think he's done enough.
Close round. We move into the third 12-rounder for the vacant WBO world title at super lightweight. It's better from Flanagan.
For me, though, he's moving the wrong way when he's throwing.
Moving anti-clockwise rather than clockwise.
Yeah.
And therefore walking into the danger area.
Yeah. Quite landing clean here, Flanagan.
Still the pawing jab from Hooker.
He paws with the jab and he sits on that back foot and he's happy there to make Flanagan overreach. That's good for Flanagan, nice little left to the body.
Comes from the tough Oak Cliff area of Dallas, Hooker. And says, I had that street boy upbringing and boxing saved my life.
That's good for Flanagan, that's better. In and out really fast, straight punches.
Flanagan trying to settle into a rhythm. That's good.
Yeah. Again, Seascope moving the right way, moving to his right, staying on the outside that jab.
It's a small technical nuance, but one known in the boxing world, and what Barry's telling you is what coaches always tell their fighters to do when there's a southpaw against them. It's fundamentals.
Got to keep that foot on the outside, and that gives you the opportunity to throw that left-hand right hook, or if you're the orthodox, you get your left foot on the outside, throw the right-hand left hook.
Jab, it's more like it, followed through the target there, Hooker. Little shot to the body from Flanagan. And again.
Got to come back with that right hook over the top, though.
Like that.
Yeah, he took one there, though, with his feet square, Flanagan. After landing with his own right hook. And a better round so far, Flanagan, still tight.
And still the danger factor of Hooker, the knowledge that one big right hand could turn it around just landed in the blink of an eye.
Just landed with one then through the guy. I think it was partially blocked by Flanagan, but I think he felt a little grin on his face.
3 rounds gone. Second one you gave to Hooker. How about the third?
That's Flanagan round for definite.
Doing that little bit more. Chin's coming up a little bit. You're looking for a bit too much power, yeah? Yeah? Get the feet in the shade proper. When you're waiting for him, be on your toes, don't be freezing. Listen. When you're on your toes.
Cagey affair, isn't it? That's a good left hand from Flanagan after he'd taken one from Hooker. And there's what you're saying about the feet.
Yeah, that'll happen constantly because they're both trying to get territorial advantage by getting that foot on the outside. So you're going to see constant feet overlapping each other and sometimes stepping on each other's toes.
Not a lot between them. Barry Jones, after 3 rounds, has got it 1 round apiece with the first round level. We move now into the 4th. Body shot from Flanagan.
Good start there from Flanagan.
That's how Barry's got it. And the action just starting to get a little bit more spicy in this 4th round. Good work.
Good, yeah. And then that's right, maybe not the holding, but that's right then to spin around the target, then get away. You've done your work, you've scored your shots. Just he's a bit more snap on the. he's used as a rangefinder now, Hooker. No, he's got a nice long reach. He's had to get a bit more snap in that jab. Put a bit of fear into Flanagan, maybe. Oh, it's a good right hand. He's doubling up there, Maurice Hooker.
Hooker said that one of the reasons he believes they've underestimated him is his performance against Darlis Perez, where he fought a draw. Oh, and he caught one there. Flanagan, right hand. He had a burst eardrum in that fight, and he said it affected his balance, and that's why he looked so bad. He said, "Don't judge me on that."
Finding a home for that right hand in this round is Maurice Hooker.
Whoa, head's going in. That's a bit of an Ancoats kiss. Really trying to whip that right hand in, and there's one around the back of the head. The referee's going to have to keep a close look at this one. Body shots from Hooker, power shots.
He's having a good round so far, Maurice Hooker. Timing these attacks of Flanagan, catching him coming forward.
Flanagan trying to rough him up, but the punches are being landed by Hooker. Sometimes it's what you can get away with. Key fights. I remember that low punch all those years ago, which Ricky Hatton threw against Costa Zoo. You remember Jim Watt putting the old Glasgow kiss on one or two opponents. It happens. This is a dominant round so far, though, from Hooker.
It's just made Flanagan, by catching Flanagan with a couple of right hands early in the round, just made Flanagan a little bit tentative to jump into attacks.
Those long levers are serving Hooker well, that big 9-inch reach advantage.
He's got a bit flat-footed as Flanagan. He's getting on the ball to his feet again. He's that in-and-out style.
He's going to have to keep his belief, and all guidance he gets from the corner will be invaluable here, because Hooker, despite this late rally, has had a good round. They're feeling good in that corner, despite what was a pretty flagrant headbutt from Terry Flanagan.
You know, he did well there to not get a warning from the referee. To be fair, there was a couple of heads. So you also get that with, you know, with the smaller guy coming against the taller guy, but yeah, one of them was definitely.
It looked a wee bit premeditated, didn't it?
Right hand again there from.
Oh, good shot! Caught him flush there and squared up. And Hooker senses that he's starting to find his range.
His foot's on the outside, that's why then Flanagan is squared up to his right hand.
Well, he landed pretty flush there. Credit to Flanagan, though, took it well.
Oh, good left hand there from Flanagan.
Head's gone in again. And still Hooker doesn't complain. And the referee lets Flanagan get away with it. But this is getting a bit messy inside. And now the referee is going to have to say something to the guys. Talking to both men, to Flanagan for use of the head, and to Hooker for an over-the-top reaction. I think Flanagan was, again, a wee bit fortunate to get away with it. Key round, you sense, this fifth, Barry, because Hooker had started to really come on strong. Heads again.
No, I think that was the inside of the glove there from Flanagan, more than the head, I think, John. Just got a bit flat-footed, Flanagan. Good left hand from him there, but needs that little bounce in his step again.
He's struggling with the man with the reach advantage, and there's two more fast right hooks from Hooker. Appropriately named, and another one.
But he needs that flow, but with your heels on the floor, you're going to struggle to get that flow, that rhythm. And Hooker, you know, is not mega comfortable, but I think he's quite enjoying letting Flanagan come forward and lining him up with that right hand.
He's kind of being able to fight his fight, isn't he, despite uncomfortable moments like that.
Well, he's happy to if he lands with the right hand and then they get caught in a clinch. He's landed a scoring blow and then they're holding on. That's fine for him.
Flanagan, who said that the big names in the division had avoided him at lightweight. Well, he's got a man here who believes that he's destined to become a big name. Body shot from Hooker.
That's the right hand again. That's the better shot there from Hooker. And again,
another. These are anxious times for Flanagan, and although he's not been seriously hurt by anything yet, he has got problems which are only too self-evident.
Well, he's struggling to find his rhythm, which is understandable against a guy with Hooker's reach and the way he sits on that back foot as well. It makes you overcommit, overreach for the target.
It was always likely, the way I was kind of reading this fight, that Flanagan might struggle in the early stages, but there's also a feeling maybe that he's the stronger, and the experience and the streetwise ability to win a fight will serve him well in the latter stages. Well, we'll see.
But he needs this. What he got now, the balls of his feet. Because Hooker at the minute is keeping that left foot on the outside. Look at that, moving well. So good round again there from Maurice Hooker.
Yeah, another round for Hooker, and you've got it now 3-1 to the American with one level. Let's listen in.
You're waiting and waiting and waiting, yeah? And then you're not getting on the next attack quick enough, and he's ready, yeah? Put it on him, then. What? Put it on him. No, just do what I'm fucking telling you to do.
Apologies for the language in the corner.
Yeah, waiting. Get your head moving. Get your first attack.
But he's wanting him to get on the balls of his feet.
But it's what we've been saying, John, in the round. He's got to get on the balls of his feet. He gets some rhythm in his work. That's the way he works. In and out, he's hard to judge when he's going to attack. But with those heels on the floor, he's just trying to use his reactions. Hooker's too tall, too rangy, and he's lining him up for that right hand every time.
Yeah, too rangy, that's the thing. Too long, isn't he? And he's nailing him from distance. We go into the 6th round. Terry Flanagan looking to become a world champion at 2 weights, only the 10th British fighter to do so. And on our card anyway, it's Maurice Hooker who's winning at this stage.
Good right hand there, though, from Flanagan.
Flanagan trying to get in and out, trying to respond to what Steve Maylett in the corner told him so emphatically. The exchange was, should I be just putting it on him? And he was basically saying in no uncertain terms, no. Listen to what I'm saying, get on the balls of your feet and use your movement.
Yeah, of course, yeah, got to. You get your flow then, you can put your punches together in combinations. Okay, they lack the power to knock someone out, but you're picking up those points, you're frustrating him. At the minute, Hooker is doing a good job frustrating Flanagan. And look at me, Hooker's boxing well. Well, Hooker's not having to do much. He's just making Flanagan make the mistakes.
Hooker, who's been a professional since 2011. Interestingly, he's never had to go 12 rounds, which this could well do. Early pressure has taken him into the lead that we maybe anticipated, but Flanagan has that big fight experience and kind of finds a way.
And he's got a good engine. Well, he's shown to have a good engine up to this point, for sure.
Chuck Catterall among those watching at ringside on the far side.
Shot there from Hooker. And again,
Josh Warrington as well.
Heels on the floor and he gets caught. Flanagan.
It's the right hand and squared up.
Flat-footed. He's having a good round up to this point. That's better.
Gordon Ramsay, I see over there. If he's involved in the after-fight catering, it'd be nice to think so, wouldn't it? Paul Gascoigne as well, the crowd cheering as he stands up and waves on the second round, on the second row.
Nice little body shot there from Flanagan.
There you see Gaza with the open white shirt.
It's good from Hooker there, doubling up with that right hand. One much weight behind the shots of Hooker there, but 2 scoring shots again.
Body shot from Flanagan got through though. He's trying to just crank up the pressure a little bit on Hooker, who misses a little bit clumsily with that right hand. Close one, but Hooker's ahead. So it's the halfway stage of the fight. Not been a real barn burner, but the clash of styles is fascinating. He doesn't really care less, does he? That's Tyson Fury reacting as well in his own inimitable fashion. He has been watching it, I'm told.
He's a boxing fan.
He knows it inside out. We know that, don't we?
He watches all boxing, all weights as well, to his credit.
Second half of the fight, and Barry has it narrowly to Maurice Hooker. But that last round shaded it to Flanagan. That's a good shot from Flanagan, left hand. Caught Hooker there, and he just got him off balance. And Flanagan knows, and is he cut? Is Flanagan cut?
Oh.
And he is. It's cut, and he cut badly. They'll let it go through to the end of the round so they can work on it, but it looks as though he's got a gash on his forehead and his eye might also be cut. I think the right eye has gone, and there's a great slash up above the nose as well. Well, the referee's got to do something about that, surely.
To be honest, he has to, but Hooker's holding on to him for dear life, and he's trying to push Hooker off. Oh, that's a horrible cut on his forehead. Good shot there from Flanagan.
Terry,
a fantastic run.
Terry might know that he's got to get him out of there now, because he might not have 12 rounds in him with that facial damage. Hooker looking disorganised, as Flanagan now really does put the pressure on. Great uppercut inside.
And followed there by the right hook as well.
Best round Flanagan's had so far, despite those awful cuts. And look at this, Flanagan fighting with real belief. There's a smile on the face of Hooker, but he had to absorb more quality shots. May have been heads that caused all that damage. And the blood is flowing now into the eyes of Terry Flanagan. Never in his career has he suffered this sort of facial damage.
You got to go for now, you got a minute to go.
Another big left hand from Flanagan, who's trying to really step onto Hooker.
Hooker just looks like the tank's just gone empty all of a sudden.
Well, Flanagan, I said he was a fighting man, and sometimes, somehow, find a way. If he ever needs to show his fighting spirit, it's now.
You got to punch in threes, Flanagan, when he comes forward. 3 straight shots to push Hooker back.
Frank Hopkins in the corner, one of the best cutsmen in British boxing. He's going to be earning his money now.
Except for the cuts, which have been a nightmare for Flanagan. It's been a really good round for him.
Very emphatically, this a Flanagan round. Hooker trying to unleash big shots in the closing seconds, and doing so.
Good right hand there from Hooker in that little combination. And again.
Well, the fight has really started to hot up in the 7th round, and has Flanagan, to an extent, punched himself out here.
No, he's got flat-footed again. When he's on the balls of his feet, he's rhythm and energy and everything.
Bell goes, and that is a big Flanagan round. But look at the damage as he sits down, and straight away they go to work. Hang on, Bob, don't do that.
That's a nasty deep gash, I think, there on that forehead. That's going to go right into the eyes. Oh, that's
well, that's how the eye went. But I don't think that's how the forehead went.
That's got to be some sort of head clash, that forehead.
Well, there's the eye, you see, but the forehead... Is this the way in which it goes? Oh, yes, it is. Dear me. That is a shocker, and no intent there, but bang!
Do you know what? I think that's where Hooker got a little bit concussed himself. You see the energy drain from him, probably a little bit concussed after that.
Yeah, stay there, don't you move. Stay there. Stay there, do as you're told there, stay there.
Frank Hopkins being told by the referee, your time's up, get out of the ring. Heads causing the damage, and Flanagan's coming out like a man possessed.
He's got to gamble now, John. He's just got to gamble, got to go for it.
I think he's ahead on your card now.
No, level, I think, John.
Yeah, I beg your pardon, you got it dead level with the one level round, the first round. There you go, that's how it is, 67 apiece. But what sort of psychological damage have those cuts caused? Flanagan certainly won the fight, won the round. I don't think there's any doubt about that, but the facial damage is so extensive now. Judges watching on. They have to, I guess, try and ignore the facial damage and just look at the quality of the punches. Hooker's landing some quality right hands again, and the blood starts to seep out of that gash in Flanagan's forehead.
See, with the panic, if panic starts to set in on Flanagan, how that drains your energy, all these things affect you.
I don't think he's ever been cut in his career anything like this, Terry Flanagan. He's never had to deal with this sort of facial damage.
It's good there from Hooker. Flanagan keeping a nice tight gap, and Hooker unloading.
Hooker trying to tee off big right hands, aimed at the head, of course.
Good body shot there as well from Maurice Hooker. To be fair, he's dug in deep here, hasn't he, Hooker? Looked spent in the last round. That's good deal for Flanagan.
What a torrid sort of affair this is becoming. Good shot, Flanagan, left hand, but also turning him well, Hooker, and landing one of his own.
He's becoming a rat-a-tat sort of attacks now, Flanagan. Good shot.
Up on his toes. This is where you've wanted him to be, Barry.
There you go, that's good work, and then moving off. Oh, good response there though from Maurice Hooker. And again, good right hand.
Oh dear, oh dear. The claret flows again, as they say. But his face has got no worse. Goes back to the corner. 8th round over. How did you score that? Another tight one.
Yeah, gone even again, John. I thought Flanagan had a good start, but Hooker will come back into it. Again, they're so tight, aren't they?
They think that they won it, the Flanagan corner. It's one of his best attacks.
I think Hooker worked his way back into it there at the end of the round. Flanagan had a good start though. Becoming a hard fight. Close.
How you feel? You good? You in shape? Show me, baby. Show me you want this, all right? Show me you want this, all right?
Vince Parrott in the corner there. Has been with Maurice Hooker for his last 10 fights. And there you see how close it is on Barry's card. Going to be about championship rounds. Terry Flanagan's the one with that experience. 3 times he's gone the 12-round distance. Maurice Hooker, same age but less experience competitively, has never gone the 12-round distance.
It was good from Hooker there, just spinning on the front foot.
Well, at no stage has he really been comprehensively outboxed, as a few people thought that he might be. Flanagan has found him a handful from word go. You could do with some support from this Manchester crowd, Flanagan. They need to be lifting him. The better part of 20,000 people in here, and Terry Flanagan needs that hometown support.
Took a good body shot there, Flanagan, and landed with 2 shots of his own after. Just as good, stayed in the pocket. As soon as Hooker finished with the shots, he worked away. He got to throw in threes, Flanagan. Got to get on the balls with his feet, got to get that rhythm, that flow in his work.
Vince Parra was asking for a big round from Hooker, asking him how he felt. And he said, I feel great, get out there and show me. And he's showing him in this early part of the 9th round.
They're not heavy shots, but he's just getting caught on the way in, isn't he, Flanagan?
Yeah. And not throwing enough of his own at this stage. Well, that's not allowed. Hooked him round, slung him into the ropes. It's been a fairly laissez-faire sort of way of refereeing from Terry O'Connor. He's let quite a lot go.
Yeah.
Although if he'd been overly pernickety and too fussy, would have been criticising him the other way. Sometimes refs can't win.
No, it's a difficult job. Just following around the ring a little bit here, isn't he, Terry Flanagan?
Yeah, he's losing this round. It's surely a round for Maurice Hooker.
Got to follow up on everything, all right? It's a dogfight, baby. Deep breath. I know you got it in you, baby. Great deep breath. One more. You're in great shape. You're in great shape. We can't leave anything in the ring, man. We got to let it go on his ass, all right? We got to put it on his ass, body, head, everything, man. And keep that jab in his fucking face, all right? I didn't tell you. Yeah? Come on now, Ted.
Language getting a little bit florid in both corners. Sorry if that's causing offence.
On him earlier before he gets his corner out.
In and out, in and out, come on.
No lane race, you know what I mean? Be smart, you know what I mean?
Barry's card, Hooker edges ahead.
Either way you got it, it's close, isn't it? You just feel it's close. You say it's close, it'd be lots of close rounds, which doesn't mean it might not be close on anyone's card.
3 rounds to go. Into round 10. Both of them starting up on their toes. Judges have surely got it close, as we have.
Oh, it's good from Flanagan there, lovely left hand. To be honest, Hooker only really has a right hand. He paws with the left, and the only really time he gets any success is with the right hand. But he's so hard to get to because he sits on that back foot. You know, he's hard to reach because he does dangle that left hand in your face. Gives you there's a lot of distance to travel.
Effective.
Oh yeah, very effective.
Well, bit of time out here for the tightening of the bandage, or the loosening of it, the stripping away of that which is dangling.
He's done a good job with the cuts, haven't he?
Very.
Corner.
Well, I did say Frank Hopkins is
brilliant.
One of the best. He really has worked at his art over the years. He's turned it into that. He's become one of the best, absolutely, in the sport.
Yeah, no doubt. good left hook there from Hooker. And again, Flanagan really trying to force the pace.
He's trying to show that he's the fighter, that he's the aggressor.
I think he's getting a little bit picked off coming forward.
There he goes. That's better from Flanagan. Left hand was a scoring shot.
Much better again when he gets that bounce on his step, though, Flanagan.
Hooker, you sense, waiting for Flanagan to commit himself.
Good right hand from Hooker. A really good knack of nicking rounds, haven't he, Maurice Hooker?
Well, I think he's edging it. I wouldn't say it with a huge amount of confidence, but it's a tight fight, grueling fight.
It's one of a lot of the rounds are just a good combination, swings it the other way, isn't it? There's them sort of rounds.
Remind you that backstage, Tyson Fury watching on. His big comeback fight is next on after this.
It's good footwork there, good upper body movement from Maurice Hooker. And Flanagan is just following around the ring, forcing the pace, but don't think it's effective enough. And I'll give that another round there for Maurice Hooker.
Life, baby, you can do this. You gotta believe. You gotta fucking believe. You're in great shape. You ain't gonna get tired. He's dead tired. I know you're feeling it. I know you're feeling it. But you gotta leave it in the ring all right now, baby. All right? They ain't gonna give us shit here, okay? We gotta leave it in the ring. This guy.
Again, hard language in the corner.
It's a lovely left hand there, early in the round there from Flanagan. But for me, I just thought Hooker just picked him off a little bit. Flanagan, maybe not cutting off the ring effectively enough, forcing the fight, forcing the pace, and walking on to not heavy shots, but scoring shots.
2 rounds to go. Flanagan might have to win them both.
Well, you would think they both have to look at this.
Really fast starts.
Just shows they both know it's a tight fight. They both know it's close. They both know they got to win whatever's left.
An awful lot is on the line here for both these guys.
It was better from Flanagan there, that little combination.
Sam Barry's got it. If that first round was edged to Flanagan, then that would have been closer, obviously. Body shot, Terry Flanagan. Leaning in as he has to find the range. Oh, good shots. Needs to be bringing his shots up as well here, Flanagan. When he gets inside into the pocket. Solid body shot from Hooker.
And then a little left hand to the head, back straight away there from Flanagan as well.
Told you about those 8 kids he's got. He said, I've got mouths to fill. This is everything for me.
Got a rally now again, Flanagan.
That fitness is showing, and there's binding hanging from that left wrist again of Flanagan's.
It's a good combination, flashy combination there from Hooker.
Oh, the withering determination of both men.
Again, it's a really good start, I thought, from Flanagan in this round. I know Hooker starting to get a bit gain success.
Stifling each other's work, and indeed their own. Been a physically hugely demanding fight. Not been too easy on the eye, a lot of it. It's not been the prettiest.
It's been a bit scrappy, hasn't it? That's good from Flanagan. And again, Oh, look at that from Hooker. Good work. He knows he's not going to get no favours away from home.
Well, that could be a factor. We've got a South African judge, an American judge, and a British judge.
But the crowd go wild.
Well, that's inevitable, isn't it? And that's always why you get the home advantage.
Even if a shot's blocked, oh, it's good from Flanagan there. Lovely right hook.
Fighting with pride. Oh, wow, he wound up with that one. Talked about Hooker telegraphing his intentions. Flanagan doing the same there. Good round, touch of gloves. They both know they're giving everything here, and Flanagan may have taken that.
Yeah, for me, John, he did. I think he worked from belt to belt there.
Might all be on the last round. He's hurting when they're pressing at that damage in the corner, and he's had that from an early stage.
Look at this for the start of the round there. They just went straight to the centre of the ring and started swinging punches. And it's that sort of fight that's tight. You think any mistake or any extra effort is going to swing the fight in your favour. And this last round's going to be the same, John. They both need it.
I wonder if this last round is going to be decisive. It might all be hinging on this. Very, very tight. Final words of inspiration and advice from both men. 3 minutes to go. There'll be the touch of gloves. The referee's insisting on it. And that is the nice bit before what is sure to be an absolute storm. And what a start from Flanagan. What a start. He's raining punches in. The crowd is up on its feet now, roaring on the Manchester man.
It was a tremendous right hook in that combination. Spun the head round the Hooker.
Hooker takes it though, and he's trying to rally himself. Great uppercut from Hooker.
What a response there from Maurice Hooker.
Great start to the round. We've only gone just over 30 seconds.
Oh.
Flanagan started brilliantly, but Hooker came back and is continuing.
There's a good left hook there as well, catching Flanagan coming forward there, Hooker.
2 minutes to go, just under.
Got to fight in burst now, Flanagan. Fight the burst, take a rest, go again.
Will he be able to feed off the roars of the crowd? Good body shots from Hooker. And an uppercut.
Good uppercut, lovely shot.
Flanagan might have been told he's got to take him out.
They've certainly been told, both of them been told, you need to win this last round to make sure.
Again, scrappy maul.
Nice body shot.
Yeah. Who's the fresher now? First time, remember, that Hooker has gone this distance.
And he's coped well with the pressure of Flanagan. You've got to give him his credit. Use that reach and that height to turn it to his advantage on a lot of occasions.
Look at the face of the two men, and you'd say that Hooker's the man who's won it. Great right hand in there, but remember that damage was caused by head clashes.
Lovely straight punch combination there from Flanagan. .40 seconds to go, still in the balance this round. John, you think one big finish for either fighter swinging their way? Here comes Hooker.
Who's going to produce the grandstand finish? We're into the last 30 seconds. One eye-catching attack here. It might even determine the course of the entire fight. Well, it's not happening. They're cancelling each other out. The bell goes a little bit early. And it's all over. And a sporting embrace from the two fellas and from the two trainers. And it could go either way, this. It is a very, very tight fight. You'll have your own idea at home. We've got ours at ringside. All I can really say with any degree of confidence is that it is very, very close indeed. A British judge, an American judge, and a South African judge. Flanagan thinks he's got it, and so too does Hooker. Well, what price the draw? That was about a 30-1 shot, I wonder.
I've given 3 rounds level. I don't think I've ever done that before.
Well, it's something which we always try not to do, isn't it? Because we know that judges rarely do.
10 rounds there for a reason, you know, if you can't split them. And I think that last round I give even. I think Flanagan started tremendously well, and Hooker came right back, and then maybe sort of was edging it, and then Flanagan had a little bit of a success, and you know, you just find it hard to split them. I think a lot of rounds were hard to pick a conclusive winner. But for me, I got Flanagan, Hooker winning by 116, 115. Well, a lot of close rounds could have made that score a bit wider.
I remember one round you gave to Flanagan, to Hooker rather, which I would certainly have given to Flanagan. And that first round is another key round, you know, and that was a level round. There's the belt, the WBO champions belt. That's what they're fighting for, as well as a huge wedge of cash, and of course the opportunity to add to that in the future. They know that they were in a very, very hard, grueling, tough fight. Here's how Flanagan started that last round. Tremendous.
Tremendous, wasn't it? And it looked like Hooker was in trouble. It looked like he was couldn't cope with the pace. But all of a sudden, then Hooker comes back with his own little barrage of punches, flurries. Fantastic. And it was with Flanagan moving forward that he got caught. That's a lovely shot there from Maurice Hooker. The last round was probably the best round of the fight.
Well, I think we've probably got a split decision here. I kind of just edged to Flanagan.
Yeah,
you've got it to Hooker, so a split decision would be absolutely no surprise here.
And when you have a lot of close rounds, judges can have it wider than what you think.
Yeah,
that's how we see it. People the judges might not think it was a close fight.
There's probably people sitting at home thinking, what are you guys talking about? As usual. Well, I think we're just about in a position now to get that result. Thomas Treiber is like a coiled spring. He's poised. And the result, here it comes.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards, and we have a split decision. Judge Dion Duarte scores it 115 to 113 in favor of Maurice Hooker. Judge Jerome Jakubko scores it 117 to 111 in favor of Terry Flanagan. And Judge Phil Edwards scores it 117 to 111 in favor of your winner, and now the WBO Super Lightweight Champion of the World, Maurice Mighty Mo Hooker.
It was the split decision. There are boos around the Manchester Arena, but tears of joy from Maurice Hooker and huge celebrations from his camp.
So Maurice Hooker becomes the WBO Junior Welterweight Champion of the world, upsetting Terry Flanagan. Chris, a very momentous occasion for the Dallas native.
What an incredible moment for Maurice Hooker, who fought the best fight of his career against the best opponent of his career and goes into the UK and doesn't just stop a guy. We've seen fighters go in there and stop opponents, but wins a decision in a hostile environment. Incredible win. The doors are now wide open for Maurice Hooker moving forward.
And yet again, another product of SHOBOX. Maurice Hooker fought on SHOBOX over 4 years ago, and lo and behold, he graduates to becoming a world champion.
He's a world champion now, and as I said, there are a lot of avenues he can go. There's a 140-pound tournament that's going to start in the next couple of months. He is now a strong candidate to enter that 140-pound field, and with that comes more notoriety and, of course, more money. That was a life-changing win for Maurice Hooker.
A very big moment, as Dallas certainly represented very well. Errol Spence Jr., who defends his title next week on Showtime Championship Boxing. Now Maurice Hooker. So 2 world champions out of Dallas. when it comes to the sport of boxing. And speaking of world champions, Tyson Fury used to be a world champion, has been away from the ring for almost 1,000 days. But now he gets back inside the ring against Sefer Seferi, Showtime Boxing International, as we get set for Showtime Championship Boxing coming up at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific time. If you don't have Showtime, get Showtime.com to start your free trial. But Chris, for Tyson Fury, he's with a brand new trainer, Ben Davison, a 25-year-old. He left his uncle, Peter Fury. He's dropped almost 100 pounds, and he says he's back.
Hey, look, he says he's back. Tyson Fury is one of the great question marks in boxing right now. 3 years ago, he was on top of the world. He was the man in the heavyweight division. He ended the run of Vladimir Klitschko. But it has been 3 years since we've seen him in the ring. And opinions on Tyson Fury vary a little bit, right? Tyson Fury beats Klitschko, but before that win, he wasn't talked about as an elite guy. He didn't have the great amateur background. He was put on the deck by Steve Cunningham, a cruiserweight, in an earlier fight. He hasn't done that. So we'll see what Tyson Fury can do against a lesser opponent tonight. What does he have left? What does he have in the tank coming off that 3-year layoff?
Let's take a look at the top 5 in the heavyweight division according to our Showtime boxing historian, Steve Farhood. What do you see here, Chris?
Well, you see two guys at the top, in Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, who are the clear kingpins of the division. But after that, there's a lot of room for a guy like Tyson Fury to step in. Alexander Povetkin has been a world title challenger before. He lost to Vladimir Klitschko. We saw on Showtime what Luis Ortiz could do against Deontay Wilder. And Joe Parker, unimpressive to me against Anthony Joshua. So Tyson Fury, if he wins a couple of fights, you could quickly see him into that mix.
But he still has a ways away. We are hoping that we are getting closer to Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua having their heavyweight showdown. Earlier in the year, in March Madness is typically known for being known for college basketball, but here for Showtime Championship Boxing, it meant for big heavyweight world title fights. Deontay Wilder was up first at Barclays Center, and he had a very big moment against Luis Ortiz.
Right uppercut, and it's over! Mamma mia, Deontay Wilder has done it!
I tell people all the time, I'd rather be the part than look the part, and I showed that tonight. It's not about weight. It's not how big a person is. It's not about all of different things that people, get so wrapped up in their mind about boxing. Boxing is a beautiful sport. It's a sweet science to this, and it's all about who got the bigger heart. And tonight I showed I had the bigger heart.
Giselle, you man, Giselle.
What's up?
Yeah, we on the phone with 5 years ago. Remember that 5 years ago without the club?
Good job, baby. Yes, sir. Good, left side.
An hour, snap. Good. You know they got that quit button right here. Please give everyone traveling mercy as they return to their homes, their families, and we ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. When guys come and fight me, we know they're going to bring their best. We know they do things that we never seen them do. Look at this man. He was running. He was doing things that we never seen him do. But when you finna fight the king of the division, you better get yourself prepared. You better get yourself mentally ready, because I got a heart of a lion, man. People got this thing so wrapped up. They done got so wrapped up into who making the most money, who got the most followers, who doing this, and it ain't about that to me. It's about me proving who's the best. And America got a killer on their side, and I'm ready to put up my title with anybody in the world that's ready for me. Enough of the bullshit. I'm sorry about the language, but it's just, like I said, I don't have a filter. I'm the realest.
So Deontay Wilder went ahead and stopped Luis Ortiz before a raucous crowd at Barclays Center. 3 weeks later, Showtime Championship Boxing went to Cardiff, Wales, where Anthony Joshua picked up another world title, this time by defeating Joseph Parker.
Anthony Joshua improves to 21-0 as he goes the distance for the first time in his career.
When am I going to go in and have fun? Make a champion look like a novice. When am I going to be able to have that ability to make a champion look like a novice? I want to go in there and control, bang, bang, come out there, whip the under and skip off. When am I going to go into that realm of boxing? That's what's interesting now. Showtime.
Good locker room, everyone's here, relaxing, chilling, music playing, soon we'll be dancing. It's not unusual to be I feel it's my destiny, I feel it's my time. The time for us to make our mark on the world and the heavyweight division.
JP, the motherfucking champ is here!
I feel at home. No matter what he throws, no matter what happened, I feel comfortable in my own ability and understanding how to get my way around the ring.
Somebody's is about to be given the Chris Angel treatment and disappear. Joseph Parker looking to upset boxing's biggest global star. Oh, there's that short right uppercut on the inside by Joshua.
I think fighters are fresh for the first 5 rounds. If you get him hurt early, brilliant. But if I don't search for it. You'll find it difficult to get tough for him. Moving forward, providing I win, what strategies do we use? Where do we go? Is it just about history, or is it about doing the right thing for one's career?
Winner by unanimous decision, Anthony.
That's like Dylan said. Wilder, let's go, baby! Let's go!
So Anthony Joshua defeated Joseph Parker back on March 31st to claim another world championship. Chris, how close do you think we are to seeing Wilder and Joshua here in 2018?
I don't think we're that close, at least not this year. There have been proposals that have gone back and forth between these two sides, but I don't get the sense that Anthony Joshua's team wants that fight next. There was a $50 million offer plus upside presented from Deontay Wilder to Anthony Joshua. Ray, that should have been the end of story. He should have said yes to that. Let's work out the details. Now you hear, we want the fight over in the UK. We're willing to take less money to have the fight over in the UK. These two eventually will meet. I don't believe it happens this year.
So now what is next for both, as you have a mandatory for Anthony Joshua? Where does Deontay Wilder go?
Anthony Joshua could fight you or me in the UK and make $10 million. It's simple as that. He is a huge draw over there. Deontay Wilder, it's much more difficult. Could he go to Birmingham, Alabama, and fight an opponent there, draw a good crowd? Yes. Could he fight Dominic Breazeale? Maybe. Could he fight any number of lesser contenders? Yes. But he's not making real money to do that. He made about $2 million for his last fight against Luis Ortiz. He'd probably make less against a Breazeale or right around there against a Breazeale. He needs Anthony Joshua to get paid. Anthony Joshua right now doesn't need him.
But in terms of from a historical standpoint, like they both need each other. This whole thought process about that this fight needs to marinate anymore, I don't think that's the case. Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua have both fought adversity. We saw what Joshua was able to do at Wembley Stadium against Vladimir Klitschko. Deontay Wilder had his moment, as we saw earlier in March against Luis Ortiz. I think the time is now for this fight to finally happen.
You're preaching the choir here. I completely agree with that sentiment. And the reason it doesn't need to marinate anymore is because there aren't opponents out there that make any more than one of the more attractive. So let's say that Joshua fights Povetkin and beats Povetkin. Does that make Joshua any more of a heavyweight star? Deontay Wilder, let's say he beats Dominic Breazeale or somebody else. Does that raise the profile of Deontay Wilder? I say no. Those guys, they need to fight each other to elevate the one to the next level.
So as Tyson Fury gets set to take on Sefer Seferi, how many fights does he need in order to be mentioned in this conversation?
I think you also have to include how many pounds does he need to lose before you can put him in that conversation. He certainly whittled a lot off his big frame, but I would say 2 more, maybe 3, before we see him against one of those guys. The problem is you want to put him in tougher, but you don't want to risk him losing to a lesser opponent. A Fury-Anthony Joshua fight in the UK is a massive fight. That is a Wembley Stadium fight. You want to bring Tyson Fury along, but you don't want to put him in with anybody too tough that could scrap that type of fight.
One thing that can be said about Tyson Fury is that he is a box office attraction. At the Manchester Arena, over 20,000 people are there to see his comeback against a very big underdog. So even though Tyson Fury's been away from the ring for 1,000 days, there is still a ton of interest in the man known as the Gypsy King.
Now look, he's a character. And this fight is in some ways straight out of Gulliver's Travels, right? I mean, you've got one guy that's massive, a big heavyweight, and another one that's a smaller guy coming up from the cruiserweight division at 39 years old. This is a shake-off-the-rust fight for Tyson Fury. But if he can get back into the mix, his personality, his fighting style, everything about him says he could be a star for as long as he competes at a high level. Boxing needs more guys like Tyson Fury. I hope he does get back to the level where he can fight a Joshua or a Wilder in a big fight.
Well, he has to look impressive tonight as well, Chris. And here, as we look at Sefer Seferi, does he have the most overwhelming resume? No. However, you were there in New York when he got knocked down by Steve Cunningham, who was a cruiserweight coming up to heavyweight. With Sefer Seferi, he's a cruiserweight coming up to heavyweight. His only heavyweight fight was a loss to Manuel Char over 2 years ago.
You're right. Look, I'd like to see him be able to give Tyson Fury some rounds. The difference between Seferi and Cunningham is that Cunningham, even though he was a little bit older, was a guy on the rise in that division. He's had some tough opponents, a quality resume, good wins. You mentioned the Char fight. That's really the only quality name on his resume, and he lost that fight. So he's being brought in purposefully. It's a 3-year layoff. You don't want Tyson Fury in with anybody all that dangerous. What they want is someone to give Tyson Fury some rounds. We'll see what he looks like tonight.
And don't forget, we are taking you up to, we have the Tyson Fury fight coming up, but later tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific time, you see it's quiet here at Staples Center. It is going to get loud here for Showtime Championship Boxing. The doubleheader featuring the rematch of Leo Santa Cruz and Abner Mares for the Featherweight Championship of the World. Also, Jermell Charlo defends his WBC Super Welterweight crown against Austin No Dotrout. If you aren't a Showtime subscriber, I don't know why you're not, but if you are, here's what you can do. Go to GetShowtime.com and start your free trial now. It not only includes tonight's championship doubleheader, but next week we'll be in Dallas, Texas for the homecoming of Errol Spence Jr. defending his title against Carlos Ocampo. 2 other compelling matchups. And speaking of compelling matchups, here is the return of Tyson Fury as John Rowling has the call.
To the ring, our main event participants. First, coming to us from Switzerland, Sefer, the real deal, Seferi.
Seferi will never have experienced anything remotely like this. An absolute cacophony here. And this is for his walk-on. Wait until we see Tyson Fury. Manchester Arena is rammed tonight. Seferi, the 39-year-old who lives in Switzerland, of Albanian nationality, trains in Hamburg, has only lost 1 of 24 fights. But he will be dwarfed in the ring by Tyson Fury. And you can hear the reaction of the crowd. Not exactly encouraging. Now let's just wait for this. What a sense of anticipation.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, he's back. Let's welcome the former unified heavyweight champion of the world from right here, Manchester, England, Tyson Fury.
Loving this. Manchester is loving him. Hype, yes, of course it is. But there are plenty of people in the boxing world who still believe this is the true heavyweight champion of the world. And nobody else is going to be able to claim that until they've beaten him. Certainly that's what Tyson's peddling. And he's He's loving every moment of this. Massive entourage making his way to the ring. Billy Joe Saunders, close friend of Tyson Fury, among them. He stands head and shoulders above just about everybody here. That is apart from Ronald McIntosh, of course. He steps up onto the ring, and now the whole of the boxing world sees him, and he really is back. Ricky Hatton up in the ring as well. There's Ben Davison, who's helped whip him into shape. And Ricky Hatton will be in that corner as well. He's been training in the Hatton gym. And here's the tail of the tape. Massive weight advantage, huge height and reach advantage for Tyson Fury. Look at that, 10-inch difference in reach. Seferi, who's principally been a cruiserweight through his career. Fury, the biggest man, apart from Nikolai Valoev, ever to have held the world heavyweight crown. Manchester awaits, and a huge audience around the world. This is being beamed live to the United States, as well as to you watching with us on BT Sport. Burden of expectation, yes, but I sense that there is a genuine feeling within the sporting public, the British sporting public, that is pleased to see Tyson Fury making a new start and a fresh start. But how good will it be? We will see very soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our featured bout. It is scheduled for 10 rounds in the heavyweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry Promotions in association with EC Box Promotion, along with their great sponsors, 32 Red and Foot Asylum. It is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Steward in charge is Charles Giles. Our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Bill Edwards. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the time has arrived. Live from the Manchester Arena here in Manchester, England, this is our main event of the evening. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the red corner. He's wearing blue with white and weighed in at 15 stone. A native of Gostavar, the Republic of Macedonia, he is now making his home in Bergdorf, Switzerland, and brings a professional record consisting of 23 wins, just one defeat, with 21 of his 23 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sefer, the real deal, Seferi. And his opponent across the ring in this main event, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He's wearing black trunks and weighed in at 19 stone, 10 pounds. Hailing from right here, Manchester, England. He is undefeated with 25 wins, 18 come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former undefeated, unified world heavyweight champion and the lineal heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury.
Years and 7 months, he is back. He says he's still a little way away from absolute full fitness. He's still got a bit of poundage to lose, as you will see when finally the top comes off. But he's come down from something absolutely huge, and now he's ready. Phil Edwards wants Seferi to join him in the centre of the ring, and here he comes.
Gentlemen, you've had your instructions in the dressing room. You know what I expect of you both. Follow my instructions. Defend yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck.
I do believe that Tyson Fury gave him a kiss. I think I've seen it all, Barry. This place tonight is absolutely rammed. Some people said that this wouldn't sell. Wrong. First of 10 rounds, Fury back. All the reports from the gym tell of how sharp he's looked, how fit he's been, how his timing's there. There'll be a fair amount of showmanship, I think.
Look, we want to see, we've seen him on the pads, he's looked really sharp, the movement, the hand speed has still been there. We want to see it in action. If he still has that anywhere near that, he's saying he's better than he was when he was Klitschko. We want to see just glimpses of that. This is the perfect opponent for him. This is not a world-class opponent on a comeback, and so it shouldn't be with such a long way off.
The one defeat that Seferi's had was against Manuel Shah, who is a decent heavyweight, but not a real top ranker, but he took in the distance. David Price sitting, watching behind me, commentating for radio. I wonder whether he might want a bit of Fury action before too long.
So you know you're going to get jokes and all sorts of antics with Fury. That's just the way he is. But we want to see some good quality work as well.
He's smiling. Time travelers would say it's like watching Max Baer in there. Inviting Seferi to come and have a go. Don't think he's landed a punch yet, Fury.
There you go. Just thrown a punch.
Massive reach advantage, that 85-inch reach, and a little alley shuffle. Phil Edwards wants them to get on with it.
Yeah, and rightly so. I think, you know, I think people, as much as all the antics and stuff are fantastic, you know, he's a proper showman, is Fury. People who come to see a fight. And Seferi, let Tyson, a good jab there from Fury. Let Tyson do the antics. This is the biggest chance of his life here, Seferi. You got to find a way in to reach the target, get behind that, get inside that long jab, and land the left hook in close.
Well, I've watched Seferi on YouTube, of course, and he can punch a bit. That right hand, he's no Sugar Ray Leonard in his movement, but he can punch. Fury wanting him to come and have a fight.
Nothing landing there, even though he did try and mount that attack to his credit there. Seferi. Nothing landing off Fury either.
Oh, nice fast hands right before the bell from Fury. Interesting opener, getting better.
Stay focused on your job, but keep patient. Just don't get bored, yeah? The measure's nice when you rush, like I say, when he gets physically tired and mentally tired, the measure he'll be a little bit slower, time him on.
Back here in Manchester, Tyson Fury being spoken to by Ben Davison. And there's the moment, the pre-fight kiss. I have never, ever seen that before.
You need to get out more, John.
Seconds out.
Into the second round. only work as such as it was really came from Tyson Fury. A couple of decent jabs.
Well, it was that last one, that last left-right combination at the end of the round, really. That was all that was landed. That's better. A nice little feint and then throw there from Fury. Just showing some class now.
Plenty of Mickey taking in the opening round, but the crowd do want to see some action from Fury. It's better. He is a switch hitter, Tyson Fury. A fight out of the orthodox or southpaw stance. Right hand Seferi trying to land there. That's his danger punch.
Well, one of his best performances was the second fight with Chisora when he sort of boxed most of his southpaw and really confused Chisora that night.
More Mickey taking from Fury. Stood southpaw, then turned right round and went orthodox, and now takes a right hand.
The problem he has, Seferi, that he's got to reach so high to reach the target, then probably loses a bit of power when it gets up to Tyson's chin. Oh, good on the referee.
He's telling him not to be in conversation with the crowd. Let's just get on with it. He wants to see less horseplay, more action. A few boos from the crowd who are quite happy to see the horseplay.
I think, you know, that's what they're paying for. Tyson's a character, but I think, you know, we still want to see the work. Good right hand there from Fury. It's that little feint that just Seferi don't know what's going on. When Tyson feints like that, he puts himself in a little ball there, Seferi.
Short right hand from Fury. Seferi so far has not landed anything to really command respect, but he's still there. And those who were gambling on the first round stoppage, or even the second round stoppage, it looks as though your money's going to be lost. More like it. One round the back of the head, and the referee says cut it out.
You can see what's going to happen there every time Fury lands with a decent shot. Seferi is literally just going to hold on.
Some antics out in the crowd, I'm afraid, and Fury looking over the ropes and watching what's going on. Seferi tries to get in there. Well, Fury is distracted. That's a Fury round. Two rounds gone then for Tyson Fury, 2 rounds won. On the other side of the ring, Seferi has not really thrown anything of note as yet. It's all been Tyson Fury, who took a break from action to watch the scrapping out in the crowd. Third round underway. A bit more dynamic action in the ring is the best way to sort out any crowd disturbances, and Seferi does get in with a right hand there.
Oh, look at what's he doing there? He's trying to say stay low, Seferi, and then jump into that left hook, but Fury needs to bring that uppercut in now when he jumps out. Good right hand.
Quick hands from Fury there. Seferi may be smaller, but he's strong. He's trying to find a way through with that right hand. Elder brother Nouri is over here as well, Seferi. He's also a boxer. And a half-decent one, apparently.
Fury just needs to keep pumping that jab out all the time. That's all he needs to do. This guy will then, you know, he won't be able to get past, and if he does, he's got to overcommit and jump off his feet. And then you line him up for the right hand.
No, it's no knockdown. Pull down on the shoulder, although the count started.
And it's also, when Fury gets anywhere near close to Tyson, good uppercut there from Tyson.
And the right hook to follow it. And did he just stun Seferi for the first time?
Well, when Seferi gets anywhere close, he's looking to grab the waist. That's where you're going to see him, if this fight progresses, you're going to see him go down a lot without taking a punch.
Seferi hugely outweighed, and Fury, if there is any doubt about the outcome of this fight, he'll use that weight to maul and to lean on him and take his strength away. A couple of solid right hands there from Fury. Missed with that left. And Seferi just trying to hold on for survival's sake.
I don't think he's hurt. Seferi's just getting knocked off balance. All his shots are right on top of the head. From Fury, he hasn't really landed enough clean yet, Fury, to really let the power tell, or certainly the strength and the size.
All Fury, right uppercut just after the bell, but another round safely in the bag. Well, here's some of the action from that round. Big right hand there. That's the sort of shot that Fury will be wanting as he plans his course back.
That uppercut is the shot, John.
First foray in what he hopes is going to be a journey back to the world title.
Well, let's hope so, but let's show some flashes of brilliance that he knows he has in his locker. Him being back is a fantastic story, and it's great for British boxing, certainly. But now we want to see what he still has, or what he's got, or if he's better than he was before, like he's saying. Let's see glimpses of it now before he has a bigger test. Oh, good shot.
Bigger tests will surely come, but that right hand from Seferi found its way through. Fury may be doing a bit of mugging, but he knows it. He felt it. And the referee now tells Fury off for holding and mauling.
It's that little feint that's really working well there for Fury.
Cuts the ring off well for a big man.
Yeah, no, he does. Oh, good shot, good uppercut, left uppercut.
Seferi takes it well, though. Still trying to get lucky with that overhand right. He's going to walk into an uppercut, though, you sense. Looking for the one bingo punch. Something like 40-odd to 1 on Tyson Fury. That was the best price you could find anywhere.
Oh, lovely fast hands.
Starting to show his boxing skills now in this 4th round.
Good shot there as well, that right hand on the ear there to Seferi.
And he's starting to absorb a few now, and Fury realises it's going okay. Left hand to the ear just for a moment. Seferi looked as though his ears were buzzed a little bit by it.
He's using that left uppercut quite well, isn't he, Fury? Throws the jab and turns it into an uppercut. Just needs the right hand to follow. He's lifting the head up, finish him off with that right hand. Oh, good shot again there. Seferi running out of ideas pretty quick.
Oh, that's a solid shot, Seferi. Sinking back onto the ropes under the weight of that uppercut, and there's a slight smile on Fury's face after an altogether more business-like round.
Yeah, it was. We had to see little bits of good work there from Fury. I've said it already about 5 times, but that feint he does before he throws, that's what he needs. That's the good stuff. It just confuses the opponent. Don't know what you're going to do next.
Ben Davison, his 25-year-old trainer.
Getting tucked up first for the first 2 or 3, yeah? Touch, then drop.
Ricky Hatton, Mike Jackson in that corner as well. Just struggling to find the clean shot as he's punching down.
Yeah, but if he takes a little step back, that's a lovely uppercut there.
That was a clean shot.
Yeah, and lands some lovely left uppercuts as well. That's good, that is, because he sort of twisted his hand like he was going to throw a straight right, and then he turned it around straight away for the uppercut.
4 rounds out of 4 for Tyson Fury. And I think it's all over. It is. He's been pulled out by his corner. Seferi has had enough. The fight is all over. He's been retired at the end of the 4th round, and Fury returns with a stoppage win. I think the few in the crowd would have liked to have seen a knockout, but Seferi felt the power of that uppercut, which spun his head around and didn't want any more.
Which is disappointing, unless he got an injury of some sort, which is what we claim. It's disappointing because he was getting beat, but he wasn't exactly getting beat up, John. And this is not a world title fight, but he's boxing a guy here who was more or less the undisputed champion of the world, and this is his biggest chance of his career, Seferi. And he made a bit of an effort, sort of, and he was always never going to win, but to quit on the stool, unless there is a serious injury, is something that's not very acceptable, I don't feel.
Well, it's a shame, and nothing that Fury could do about it. I'm sure he'd have been only too happy to have continued, and this is the moment. They're asking him, and he's saying, no, I don't want any more. And the referee, Phil Edwards, has a look and says, nope, it's all over. And to Tyson Fury's surprise, the stoppage win comes.
It's good. It's been a great build-up to the fight, and it's been great to have him back, and he's full of confidence, and the crowd have loved him. And some of the antics, I'm not a lover of all that sort of stuff, but some of the antics are quite enjoyable, because he's a bubbly character, and it's all in jest. Nothing's malice about Tyson Fury. And we've seen bits of good work, but we want to see more now. Now people will demand. The people will pay to watch that sort of fight again. They want him in a more competitive fight where we see a more serious Tyson Fury, and then we'll see if he's got anything that he had back. He showed glimpses of good stuff there. Fast hands, some good footwork. He switched around the target every now and again, but not enough to convince you that he's going to be undisputed champion of the world again.
No, but there's fights to come. He's got weight to lose. He will get sharper.
Well, it's going to be a fantastic journey with Tyson Fury, because it always is, and let's hope he gets. And I think he has got it. You lose a bit more timber, and the footwork, the hand speed. You see the fast combinations with the hand speed still there. That's what made him a phenomenal fighter. Is the hand speed and the foot speed. I think that's still there. A serious opponent makes him, I think, produce better work.
He's got a stone and a half to go. There will not be the same antics if he goes in against, say, for instance, David Price, who's sitting just behind.
And there was no fear with this fight, and I think that's why he was clowning around, because he knew this was a fight that he couldn't lose unless he closed his eyes. And even then, he probably couldn't still lose. I can see that, actually. I know he listens to this. Next fight, he'll close his eyes and try and win the fight.
OK, well, we can get the official confirmation now. Here is Thomas Treiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 completed rounds of boxing, the red corner advises our referee, Bill Edwards, to stop the contest. Therefore, your winner by retirement and still undefeated, Tyson Fury!
It's the first fairly easy step along the way, but it's been fun. The build-up's been tremendous. The interviews have been, well, fascinating.
So Tyson Fury comes back and gets the stoppage victory after Sefer Seferi had deemed himself unable to continue. And Chris, Tyson Fury, after 1,000 days away from the ring, back. It will certainly be a process. What do you take away from his performance tonight?
Well, first, Seferi is an embarrassment. Seferi should never be put in a fight again. He should never be on television again. That was ridiculous. Tyson Fury landed nothing of consequence in that fight, and this guy quit 4 rounds in without a mark on his face. That's my first takeaway. This guy's an embarrassment to boxing. And for Tyson Fury, I don't think we learned anything from watching this fight. We know he's a goofball. He acted like that in the ring. What we learned is he's overweight. He probably needs to lose 20, 30 pounds, get back into that 246-pound range, which he was against Vladimir Klitschko. I thought he was slower than what he was in years past when I saw him fight against Cunningham and I saw him fight against Klitschko. He is a long way away from being able to fight a top contender. The idea was a couple more fights, maybe get him in. He might need 3, 4, maybe 5 fights before that guy's ready to face someone on the level of an Anthony Joshua.
Well, the first 2 rounds, he looked very rusty, Chris, extremely rusty. Then in the 3rd round, we started to see some of that old hand speed, his boxing, throw in the right hand, varying his uppercuts as well. So he started to show a little bit of signs of the old Tyson Fury. Granted, it's still not a lot of what we were able to see, but nonetheless, he got the victory tonight.
Yeah, I thought he threw a couple of good jabs in this one, but he had an opponent that he knew was not going to be able to punch with him. All Seferi did during this fight was charge in and swing wildly and make contact with nothing there. So we need to see Tyson Fury against an opponent that can punch back. I don't know who that is, and they've got to be very careful because we still haven't seen Tyson Fury's chin tested by a true heavyweight in this return, but he needs to face someone his size. You heard the name David Price. Very interesting. David Price, big puncher, good pedigree, also a glass chin of his own. That's something I'd like to see down the road.
Well, speaking of big punchers, coming up, Showtime Championship Boxing here at Staples Center, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific. Leo Santa Cruz, Abner Mares in the rematch. And talk about heavy hitters. Jermell Charlo defending his WBC Super Welterweight crown against Austin No Doubt Trout. If you aren't a Showtime subscriber, go to GetShowtime.com and start your free trial now. Chris, Jermell Charlo has 4 straight victories, all of them by stoppage, has looked very impressive. Last year, he flattened Charles Hatley and then went ahead and defeated and vanquished a very young and tough Erickson Hammer Lubin.
Yeah, look, conventional wisdom is that when you have a fighter improve competition, the knockouts don't come quite as much. The knockouts come when you're younger, lesser opponents, a little bit older, they don't come. This guy's taking the reverse path. He is getting better, more powerful with every fight, every different opponent. So as these opponents get better, he improves. But he does have a tough test in front of him tonight. Austin Trout has been in with all of them. He's seen the best. He's beat a couple of them. It's not going to be easy for Charlo tonight.
Well, as you can hear, rehearsals are underway behind me. The traditional mariachi music, it is going to be blaring here as we get set for our rematch between Leo Santa Cruz and Abner Mares. Let's take a look back from their epic first fight in August of 2015.
This is it. The moment has arrived. Santa Cruz and Mares. Who will be the king of LA? The Mexican-American battle of bragging rights.
Going into the first fight against Leo, oh my God, it was one for the books. It was, I think, the biggest fight of my career. I said this is gonna be a tough fight, but these are fights I won.
You can feel it here in LA. This is, I'll meet you out at the schoolyard when the bell rings. Time to go.
Once I got in there, I wanted to tear his head off.
Mars wastes no time, ran out to meet Santa Cruz. Short right hand, uppercut comes in for Mars. Santa Cruz returns fire. Mars right in the kitchen. He's putting on heat. Oh, Mars is loving it, Teddy. He's shaking his head and loving it.
Us as Mexicans, we like to brawl. We like to entertain the fans.
Back and forth they go. Good exchange on the inside. Both men score. And another great exchange of infighting.
Can Morris keep it up round after round? That is Santa Cruz's game.
My dad said, you got to be smart. I was able to adjust. You know, my dad told me, oh, he's going to get tired.
Whoever uses their jab a little bit in these spots, they're going to grab rounds. I see the confidence raising a little bit in Santa Cruz.
I was controlling the fight. I was keeping him from the outside on long range. When he would try to come in, I'll stop him with my jab or 1-2, and since I have a longer reach, I took that as an advantage.
You have an advantage if you're Santa Cruz when there's space.
What happened was I went to my corner, they told me, Abner, you're fighting the wrong game plan, starboxing him.
There was a gamble by Morris. He went out there, a little bit out of character, went right after Santa Cruz, but he couldn't keep it up.
All right, what's going on? I gotta get back inside. And it was already too late. I was tired. I didn't have the same energy. By the time I tried to go in, he was catching me with 1-2. And it just got to a point where I was frustrated.
Morris, I think, started to fall behind in this fight.
Santa Cruz has done such a good job of taking control as Mars has tried to will his way back into this. Listen to this roar. As advertised, Mars and Santa Cruz. Let him take it home, boys.
Sound good?
Okay, so we're going to talk to Mike, and then after Mike,
good stuff.
That's championship boxing.
So we're skipping Charlo and Spence.
That's flat out fighting the way it should be. LA style.
While I was waiting for the decision in that very moment, I thought I did enough to win the fight in that moment.
We're skipping next
Your
week's
winner by majority decision, Leo El Famoso Terremoto Santa Cruz.
And then when it was over, I was like, what happened? Everything came out of the plan and we got the win. It was really a close fight, tough fight, but we got the win. The fans loved the first fight. A lot of people were saying that when was the rematch gonna happen? It took 3 years, but I think we've been better than the first fight. They love to see two Mexican fighters go toe to toe. Whatever he brings, we're gonna be ready. Whatever he brings, we're gonna do better. I never saw him as being seeing a rematch or the type of fight where where you have to fight for greatness, fight for your turf. Never saw that, but here it is. Knowing that I'm fighting him again, it's really emotional. We gotta work harder. That's it. Honestly, I'm taking this fight just as redemption.
Back here at Staples Center, as there we see a recap of what was a candidate for Fight of the Year in 2015. They threw over 2,000 punches, landed over 600 power punches. Ray Flores, Chris Mannix here at Staples Center. Showtime Championship Boxing, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. If you don't have Showtime, go to getshowtime.com to start your free trial. Chris, what a matchup that was in August of 2015. Mares and Santa Cruz, they both gotten better. Mares is with a new trainer and Robert Garcia. So what do you think will play out here tonight at Staples Center?
Yeah, one of the best fights of the year in 2015. And I've heard a lot over the last couple of weeks about the changes these guys have made. I've heard about the trainer change for Abner Mares, going with Robert Garcia, how he'll fight a more technical fight. I've been hearing about Leo Santa Cruz and how he used his jab more in the last Carl Frampton fight. All that's fine. I believe that. I just don't believe any of it's going to matter when these two guys are in the ring. They've got a lot of pride. It's going to be a capacity crowd. This is going to be a toe-to-toe brawl. They might start out a little bit technical, but some point pride takes over. These guys are going to go at it. One thing I'm watching for, a guy like Leo Santa Cruz, the way he fights, there's going to be a cliff for him at some point, just like Ruslan Provodnikov. Those type of fighters, when they decline, they decline quickly. Leo has been in a lot of tough fights. Is this the fight where we see some drop-off from a great fighter?
Well, Abner Modest can certainly take advantage of it. Let's take a look at a very busy schedule for Showtime Championship Boxing as you go ahead and take a look at tonight with Santa Cruz and Modest, the rematch. Jermell Charlo defends his WBC Super Welterweight crown against Austin Trout. Next Saturday, down in Dallas, Texas, Errol Spence Jr. defending his World Championship against Carlos Ocampo, a homecoming for the Dallas native. Then July 29th, July 28th, just announced, Mikey Garcia goes head-to-head against Robert Easter Jr. That'll be here at Staples Center in Los Angeles, and we happen to be joined alongside by the 4-division world champion in Mikey Garcia. Mikey, welcome, and how excited are you for July 28th? You and Robert Easter, get it on.
Oh, thank you, guys. Very excited. Been looking forward to a unification match. I finally get it. We'll be unifying the lightweight division with Robert Easter, his IBF, my WBC title on the line. I think it's a step forward in my career where you're going to see, me fight a taller, lankier, longer reach fighter and present different challenges, but that you're going to see me overcome that and just become the unified champion.
Mike, you have covered the two versions of you, the guy before the layoff and the guy after. The guy before the layoff, I just remember being a guy extremely talented, but maybe not as ambitious as the guy you are right now. It seems like since you've come back, all you're doing is chasing those big fights. Is that a fair assessment of
That's fair. The layoff helped me, re-energize physically, mentally, spiritually. Now that I'm back, I'm hungrier, and that's what I want. I just want the big fights, big championship fights. I'm not, looking for just easy fights just to rack up a record. I'm here to make an impact and making, state a claim here in the sport as one of the greatest of this generation.
I thought it was interesting that you decided to go back to the 135-pound division. A lot of times when guys move up, they just keep moving up. You decided to drop the 5 pounds and fight there. Take me behind that decision. What was your thinking behind it?
Well, we've had 2 fights at 140. The fight last year against Adrian Broner was a high-profile fight, big name, 140-pound limit. I accepted that fight. Then the opportunity to fight for an IBF title at 140 and the opportunity to win that 4th division, 4th title was, interesting and exciting enough for me to take that. But I always had the idea to come back to lightweight and unify. I want to claim, lightweight division as, one of my greatest accomplishments there. And that's why after this fight against Lipinets, we decided, let's look at 135. I like the options there better, and we were able to land Robert Easter.
Now, Robert Easter Jr. is now training with Kevin Cunningham. We saw that he went ahead and, the fight against Javier Fortuna was less than stellar. But still, we've seen Robert Easter Jr. He's growing. He's blossoming. Kevin Cunningham has done a wonderful job with guys like Devin Alexander. We saw improvement out of Adrian Broner as well. What are you expecting out of Robert Easter Jr., especially now with his new trainer in Kevin Cunningham?
Well, I think he feels that this is going to be the most important fight of his career. And he knows who's in front of him, and that's why he's making those changes. He wants to make sure that he's the best ever. And a trainer like Cunningham obviously does bring that. So I'm prepared to face the best Robert Easter. I'm not looking at the Easter fight with Fortuna. That was a difficult fight for both. Fortuna has an awkward style sometimes, and so it makes it for an ugly fight sometimes. But I can expect that. I'm expecting the best Easter, so that I can also perform the best. If they push me, I push them back, and I just perform better.
Fighting here at this building, Staples Center.
Yes.
I mean, you are just embedded in the boxing culture of Southern California. Your family has such a rich history. But what does it mean for you on July 28th when you make that ring walk here at Staples Center here in your home area?
That's going to be a great emotional experience for me. Last time I was here at Staples, the only time I was here before that was 2011, I believe. So it's been a long time since I haven't fought here in California, here in my home. So that's gonna be a little bit emotional. I can pretty much already tell you. I'm gonna feel the support from the fans. That ring walk is gonna be a great feeling. I just want to give them an opportunity to see me live here at my own home, and I think it's gonna be a great night for boxing. But especially for me in my career.
All right, I don't want to look past Robert Easter, but there aren't 2 fights, 3 fights, maybe no fight in boxing bigger than Mikey Garcia, Vasily Lomachenko. Everybody is talking about, will that fight get made? People are praying that it doesn't fall victim to the politics of boxing that have killed so many good fights, Mikey.
Yeah.
You are at 135. Lomachenko's at 135. He had a terrific win over Jorge Linares. Now we know he's on the shelf till probably the end of the year.
Sure.
We assume he's going to fight the winner of the Ray Beltran fight coming up. Beltran comes out of
Yes.
that. How confident are you that in 2019 we can get that fight?
I think we can definitely get that in 2019. Just like you said, I hope the politics doesn't get involved and prevent it. I know his promoter. I know the way they like to work, and I think it might be a little bit of a challenge, but I think we can work through that and make it happen. It's really for the fans that we do this. That's how I feel. So why not, give them that fight? Everybody talks about it. I go anywhere, everybody mentions Lomachenko. I'm sure they do the same, mention my name around his people. So I think it'll be a terrific fight, not only for the lightweight division, but in general, for boxing itself. And I'm actually really looking forward to landing that fight in next year.
Can you physically stay at 135 for another year? Say you're trying to target it for the next summer. Can you physically be 135-pounder for another year?
Well, I can't tell you what I will be next year, but I really hope I can. That way we can get that fight. I don't know if he's willing to move up any higher than that. He looked a little small compared to Jorge in his last one, but if I have to move up to 140, then it's just, my body's going to have to make that decision. I can't, struggle and force myself to be 135, just like I moved up over the last few years from 126 to 130, 135. Your body's growing. But I do feel that at 135, that's the fight to get done.
You two are you're both kind of crazy that you keep moving up. Like you're challenging Cotto, like a few months back. You're talking about fighting at 154. He's the same way, keeps wanting to move up. But I hope it happens, man, because that's one of the biggest fights in boxing. No
I
question.
also hope it gets done next year.
Well, hopefully it'll transpire, but we do know that you will take on Robert Easter Jr. July 28th live on Showtime Championship Boxing. Fight a question, Mikey. Your brother Robert, he trains Abner Mares. We've seen this development out of Mares since he got with your brother, and we've seen more of a focus on boxing and not necessarily mixing it up at times in the pocket. What are you expecting out of Abner Mares tonight against Leo Santa Cruz?
Look, Abner's been with my brother for, I think, like 2 years now. I think all that has helped him prepare for this night. Those two previous fights that he had under my brother have helped him regain that footwork, those legs, those boxing abilities that he kind of maybe forgot a little bit in his career. Now he's back, and I think that's what's going to help him win this fight.
Do you think pride kicks in, though?
It will.
It becomes what we saw a little bit of
the crowd, that pride that's going to kick in, and that's what's going to make an exciting fight. And the fans are going to love it. But I think, we got to remind them, stick to a game plan and get back on game plan. And, I think that's what my brother's there to do, and he's very good at it.
Well, Mikey, greatly appreciate the time. Enjoy the fight tonight. We'll see you during fight week, and then Saturday, July 28th, live on Showtime Championship Boxing. Mikey Garcia, Robert Easter Jr. unifying the lightweight division. As we go ahead and bid you farewell for a couple of hours here from Staples Center, do not forget, if you don't have Showtime, go to getshowtime.com to start your free trial now. Our main event tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific time, the rematch between Leo Santa Cruz and Abner Mares, the Battle of Los Angeles, the co-main event. Jermell Charlo looking to remain undefeated against Austin No Doubt Trout. That for the WBC Super Welterweight crown. On behalf of Mikey Garcia and I'm Chris Maddox, I'm Ray Flores, saying so long. I'm already pumped up for the fight here at Staples Center. It is going to be loud, electric. Thank you very much for joining us here on Showtime Boxing International. We'll see you later tonight on Showtime Championship Boxing.
Going into the first fight against Leo, oh my God.
Mares wastes no time, ran out to meet Santa Cruz.
I knew I was going to fight this guy. It's going to be a great matchup.
Back and forth they go.
I'm going to beat him. When the fight happened and when it was over, I was like, what happened? What got into me?
El famoso.
I was kind of surprised he came out and tried to knock me out. And I think that was a mistake because he got kind of gassed out.
I fought the wrong game plan. I didn't fight like I usually do. But it turned out to be a great fight. I mean, it was a competitive fight.
Boy, is it alive tonight.
A candidate for fight of the year.
The fans loved the first fight. A lot of people were saying, when was the rematch going to happen?
Since you two met nearly 3 years ago, do you believe Abner is a much better fighter?
Yeah, of course. I think Mares has been a better fighter. I've said it. He has Robert Garcia, and he has made him improvement on Mares a lot. So I know he's gonna come at his best.
My different fighter, you're talking about 3 years ago when we first fought. Just go back and look at my last 2 performances with Robert Garcia. I think that speaks for itself.
Mares is at his best right now. He's a great fighter, and I like to fight the best.
This fight gonna be better than the first fight? Yes, because I'm gonna win. That's what's gonna make it better.
If I could have your attention.
This is what we came for. I thought you was gonna handle it. So handle your business.
Our country is under attack.
Are you in?
We are doing this.
We?
Culture yourself, trust me.
Get Showtime. Start your free trial today.